Mac, I had a couple of questions I wanted to ask you because I think that we may not have gotten the full story.
Okay.
I didn't know about what was going on in Louisiana. Can you tell me about that?
Louisiana.
Baton Rouge last year. There were questions about donations that were made.
Oh, with the Raven outreach, there was a problem with a PayPal card. It was submitted. Actually, more was submitted initially. About 3 weeks later. Yeah, there was just a mix-up with the PayPal card.
So when I talked with the folks at Ravens, they said that they did not get a donation. In fact, that you asked for a refund for the donation that you did get.
No, the initial refund was a problem with the PayPal card. It was about 2 or 3 weeks later. If I had known this question was coming up, I would have brought proof with me.
Well, I talked with them just this morning. They say they never got a donation from you.
Then they're mistaken. I have proof on my PayPal record. It shows that I redeposited $350. And the initial was $300. So,
what do you say to the people who had questions about your first walk, and now this one as well?
These are all unsubstantiated claims. They're all false rumors. As a matter of fact, about 2 months ago, there was an investigator, Brown, with the Department of Agriculture, that came down from St. Augustine with a thick, half-inch thick folder of all the accusations over the last 2.5 years from my previous walk. And we did a 2-hour interview, and he's a 20-year veteran of law enforcement. He was very thorough, very specific, and when he walked away, he says, Mac, I see nothing you've done wrong. These are all unsubstantiated rumors. No facts to them whatsoever. They're just haters that came after me, threatened my family, threatened my daughter, and speak about my deceased parents.
Why do you think they do that?
I have no clue. I can't tell you what their motivation is. In the beginning, when this first started, in the very beginning when my first walk started, I defended myself for months. I'm not guilty. I'm not guilty. Meet me in person. Talk person to person. They never have. It's always keyboard to keyboard. They've never. I've always said, this is where I'll be. If you want to talk about this, meet me here. Here's my phone number. They've never called me. It's always through emails and they even contacted my sponsors under anonymous emails. They've never met me face to face. And eventually I said, you know what? I don't have time for this. My energy can be spent somewhere else. That's what it came down to.
Do you take, or will you take, donations on this trip?
I will not solicit for funds on this trip, no. If somebody walks up and says, Mac, we heard you're writing a book about the veterans, we appreciate that, here's $20 towards that cause. Then our plan is, when we reach another city, let's say for instance, Dallas, or let's say we're a week from Dallas, and in that week we collect $100 from people who want to help veterans. We'll find the nearest non-profit veteran foundation and give them those funds.
Do you have a history of doing that?
Yes. Yeah. Again, if I knew these questions were coming up, I'd have brought proof with me. Yes, I do. There was 2 non-profits that I walked with before, and they received all the donations. There were times when I had extra money given to me for me that I gave to homeless veterans. I paid for cell phone bills, I paid for bus passes, I paid for McDonald's meals. I did all that. Yes, sir.
Can you understand people's concern now?
Correct, but again, keep in mind, let's say for instance I'm this person, they say that I am. How am I still free? How is it that state investigators, attorney generals, a 20-year veteran of the law enforcement up in St. Augustine, none of them found anything wrong with what I've been doing? Numerous police departments have done their own primary individual investigations, and nothing's been found wrong because I've done nothing wrong. These are just bullies on Facebook. They have nothing else to do.
Why are they coming out like that?
I have no idea. You'd have to ask them. I can't speak for them. I don't know.
Are there any veterans organizations right now that you can name that are supporting your walk?
No, because we're just getting started. But there will be. We've had some positive comments from local VFWs and many. We have over 2,000 friends on Facebook, and probably over half of those are veterans. And all, yeah, boy, keep doing what you're doing. If you look at the haters Facebook page, there's a couple hundred people. We have almost 3,000 followers. I mean, if I'm this guilty person, I must be the best crook on the planet.
Well, let me ask you this. The money that was offered to you along the first trip, did you record that? Was there a dollar amount that...
The first person I walked for was Project Foot. It was run by Pat Sherlock. We raised together about $8,000. He has those records. If someone said, Mac, here's 20 bucks your project foot, the money was sent to him. I was the walker, he was the record keeper, if you will. Yes.
I've got to ask, because when we did the story,
right,
I take everything as face value.
I understand it.
And then, just to get your name straight, we kind of Googled the name.
Right.
And pages.
Right, but if you let's look at it from this perspective. Let's say I am this bad person that did this. Wouldn't common sense dictate, after dozens and dozens of law enforcement agencies, the FBI, IRS, State Attorney's Office, Office of Attorney General, and a 20-year military law enforcement veteran, all these people found nothing wrong with what I'm doing. So am I either the best crook on the planet, I've got everybody convinced, or am I innocent of all the charges? I would assume common sense would say these are just bullies coming after Mac for whatever reason, whatever their motivation is.
Is it right? Despite whatever it is that you're doing, is it right if someone walks up and says, here's $20 for your cause?
Right.
To take it and not give it to vets?
Of course not. Absolutely not. No, as a matter of fact, was it...
I wasn't going to come with him if I mean, I've asked all these questions.
You've asked all these questions?
I've asked all these questions, and I, told him, I said, I think, if somebody, because we can't ask, so, I mean, for donations. So if somebody comes up and says, hey, here's 20 bucks or here's 50 bucks, it's like, okay, is this for us on our walk, or is this for the vets? So I plan on asking.
Should it ever be for you?
It probably shouldn't be, but again, we do need help as we're walking. So, we're hoping, we've got people that are sending us the care packages and that type of thing, so to let us know where we're going to, or, we have to let them know ahead of time what city we're going to be in or how close, and they're going to send them to us. So, yeah, I mean, we still need help while we're out there too, so.
So when you saw all of the stories, the internet responses, the concerns that were raised, did that raise concerns in your mind?
It did in the beginning, and then I guess the more I started talking to him and the more I started talking to other people that know him, have known him for years, I mean, because we just started talking about 6 months ago maybe,
right.
And I said, it's kind of silly. To me, it's no matter what you do, there's always somebody out there that's going to hate what you do. So, and we all know that. So I'm going to do it with him.
Let me get you to say and spell your name for me.
Vickie James, and it's VICKIE JAMES.
The young man at, may I say this? The young man at the, was it Inlet Harbor restaurant we were at?
Yes.
What's it called? Inlet Harbor?
Inlet Harbor.
Yeah, young guy. They announced on state what we were doing. A young man at 17 who's joined the Marine Corps in a couple of years walked up and gave me this $5 bill. I could have spent that on anything. I'm keeping it because this will go to our next major town, will, wherever it might be. If there's a vet organization, this along with anything else we get is going to the vets. And I kept this $5 bill. This isn't about us. We're just messengers trying to carry a message. Will people help us with, here's 20 bucks for Gatorade or food or a motel? Of course. We quit our jobs to do this. This is out of the kindness of our hearts. We don't get paid for this. Do we accept help? Absolutely. Who wouldn't? This is a daunting task. A year of thunderstorms and heat, and I mean, this is not the comfort of home.
When you were walking capital to capital, people were saying that it was a well-funded vacation.
Again, the haters. Have them come and speak to them face to face. Again, unsubstantiated accusations.
What will happen with the money or proceeds from the book, if any book is published?
The book will be published, and it's going to go towards the veterans. We'll decide which veteran organization to go to. I wish we could be a nonprofit, but it's costly. I found out through my research that if you do it in a single state, then you have to register once. But if you cross in the country, you got to register in every state you cross into, and that's expensive. We don't have the money for that, so we're going to give to an organization that's already established. And it'll be well documented on the website. We'll say, we just gave X amount to this organization.
But you know your path that you're going to...
We don't have it. We don't have a turn by turn. For for the most part, we'll parallel I-10, but turn by turn is determined every 2 weeks because everything happens out there. The weather changes, road conditions, what have you. So
depending on where the veterans hospitals are at.
Correct.
But I mean, you know that now. I mean, if you have access to the internet, you know where the hospitals and all that stuff are.
Correct. Yes, sir. Yes.
So you should know, or some idea of what organizations you plan to assist.
No, because I don't know what organizations in that town. I don't know. I have no clue what organizations in Dallas, Texas, or in Baton Rouge. But I'll know 2 weeks prior to that before I get there. Sure.
And you'll continue to post.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yep.
Good deal. Okay. Like I said, we're here to follow you guys off, but if there's questions I have to ask,
Of course.
That's what. Now let me ask you this as well. Your discharge from the military.
Right.
Talk to me about that.
There were a total of 3. First 2 were honorables. The third one was other than honorable, which in respect to civilian terms, it's an administrative discharge. Long story short, fell in love with a girl. She scammed me for $30,000. I went AWOL for 200 days. It was a stupid decision. I was young, wasn't thinking straight, but it wasn't determined desertion. It was determined AWOL. They brought me back. I turned myself in. I was brought back, busted in rank, and removed from the Marine Corps. It's that simple. But that's almost 30 years ago.
So are you still a vet?
Yes.
You're still a vet?
Yes, sir. I still get VA benefits because it wasn't a dishonorable. It was other than honorable.